see. I want to welcome everyone. My name is Dorothy Dorton, and I am with AARP. And I know most of you guys on here. I see names, and hello everyone. Thanks for joining. We're going to get started in just a second, and before we do, we are going to do a quick little poll. And we want to ask, if I can find this, and y'all are having y'all are very, very, very special today because this is our first workshop. So bear with me and all of the new technology I've been learning. So I have a poll here, and if you're able to, I'd love for you to answer this. We're going to have a couple of these throughout. And have you heard of the AAA, the Area Agency on Aging? And if you could answer yes or no, we'll leave that up for a few minutes and then we'll get started. Again, thank you for all who are joining us today. I am Dorothy Dorton with AARP Alabama. Della, I nearly said Area Agency on Aging. My goodness. I am just off it today, guys. We have a poll up here right now. If you could answer, have you ever heard of the Area Agency on Aging? And we have a few polls today just to keep you involved. We'll get started in about another minute. All right, folks, I will share the results of our poll. And everybody's heard of the Area Agency on Aging, so that is great, great news. All right. So again, my name is Dorothy Dorton. I am with AARP Alabama, and to welcome you all here today, we have a very special guest, AARP lead volunteer, Miss Gloria Burks. And Miss Gloria is going to get started for us today. So Miss Gloria, if you want to take it away.
Hi there. I am Gloria Burks, AARP lead volunteer, and I would like to welcome you to this presentation. AARP empowers people to choose how they live as they age. It is a nonpartisan 501c4 with over 420,000 members in Alabama. AARP's role is to advocate for for those who are 50 and beyond and their families, regardless of politics. Here are a few things just before we get started. Please note that this presentation is being recorded, and by attending, you are showing that you understand and consent. Also, please keep your microphones on mute, and if you have any questions for the presenter, please add them in the chat box. Thank you so much for attending today. Now, I would like to introduce our presenter, Della Sanchez. Della, LGSW, or Licensed Graduate Social Worker, has served the Area Agency on Aging of the South Alabama Regional Planning Commission for 19 years. Since coming to the Area Agency on Aging, she has worked as case manager, ombudsman, disaster preparedness coordinator. She is currently working as the Alabama Cares coordinator. Della earned a master's degree in social work from the University of Alabama and an undergraduate degree from the University of South Alabama with a certificate in gerontology. Della, welcome.
Good morning. Thank you, Ms. Burks. I appreciate it. Very nice to meet you for the first time.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. Good morning. And thank you for everyone for making the time to come and participate in this workshop. Again, my name is Della Sanchez, and I'm the coordinator for the Alabama Cares program, and I work here in Mobile, Alabama. And again, the Alabama Cares program provides education, counseling, and respite services to caregiver in our community. So next slide, please. Okay. So again, I just want to know that the mission for as most of you are, according to our survey, a lot of you, 100% of you know what the Area Agency on Aging does, and just want to kind of go over the mission statement. It's about keeping our seniors' independence and dignity by serving as an advocate for older people and by offering a comprehensive coordinated system. That's what our mission statement is here for the Area Agency on Aging. So just know that if you ever have any concerns or questions regarding senior issues, you can contact us. Okay, so then just also know that the state of Alabama has 13 area agencies on aging, and they're here to serve the clients in our community. And again, we serve Mobile, Baldwin, and Escambia County. Okay, all right. So we're going to start off with this question here, and we'll just get the answers at the end of the program to see how it turned out. So, is caregiver burnout real? True or false? Please complete. Okay. Okay, Dorothy and I have been colleagues and friends for a long time, and I was very excited when she asked me to partner on this state resource workshop. So let's begin with what's going on here at our Area Agency on Aging. I'm thinking I'm having a little technical difficulty here. Dorothy, hello?
Yep, that would be me. Give me just a second. I'm sorry. It just magically shut down on me. So while I pull this up, it looks like everybody's answered the poll. So let's look at the polling real quick. And I think everybody got a 100 on this. So
well, okay, well, good. I'm glad everybody understands that caregiver burnout is real. Caregiver burnout is a state of physical, mental, and emotional exhaustion. Burnout is a sense of changing of attitudes. And I think a lot of us within this last year of COVID have experienced a lot of burnout, whether you're caring for an individual or just in the lifestyle of living in isolation. It has been a big burnout for all of us, but it's especially important for caregivers out there to understand that it is real, and it is very challenging because you have lots of expectations of yourself, and you feel that there's other people having expectations of you. So it's really important for you to take some time out. And this is where the Area Agency on Aging and the Alabama Cares Program comes in to help caregivers out in the community. Okay, so thank you for participating in that survey.
Yep.
So
and I apologize. We are still restarting PowerPoint because it's not playing well with me today. So
well, we can make do.
I think so. I appreciate it, Della.
You're welcome. So we know this much is true. We know that that family members and caregivers and friends are the most critical people that come in and step into care for loved ones. A lot of families don't have the resources to hire private individuals to come in and stay with them. So, but we know that that is the core. They are the silent army that are standing behind our loved ones at home. If they're living with dementia or if they have multiple medical frailties, it's usually the family or a friend or a partner that steps in to care for them. So we understand that caregivers are very important in our community. So what I'm trying to tell you is that if you are in the position of being a caregiver, you need to contact the Area Agency on Aging if you're seeking for respite. Because I think one of the most fascinating portions of this Alabama Cares program is the focus is on our caregiver. We focus on the needs of the caregiver. Like in most other programs, we're always looking at the care recipient, the family member that needs the services. But in this program, Alabama Cares, we target the caregiver. We understand the challenges that you face, the burnout, trying to balance home life, work. In most cases, a lot of caregivers are caring for themselves, they're raising children. So it's really important that we step up and we try to help the caregiver. Okay, so we are going.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
This is good. This is good. Okay, we can stop right there.
There we go.
This is good. Okay, we're good. All right. So, and being a caregiver is meaning that you have to be flexible, and we're being flexible here. So, and we're rolling with the punches, and that's what caregivers have to do too. So again, the Alabama Care Support for Caregivers, our focus is information, access, respite services, education, and supplemental services. Within this last year, I've been able to help some families because we received some funding to help care with incontinence supplies. And that's been very helpful to a lot of care recipients out there and their family members. We're also helping family members with respite. So that's a little bit of downtime for the caregiver, because it's really important for the caregiver to take time to stop and say, I really need to take care of myself. I'm just as important. And along with that, we also, we can go to the grandparents. We can go to the next one. That's good. And along with helping caregivers out in the community, we are also helping grandparents raising grandchildren. Many grandparents are concerned that their grandchildren will enter foster care. And this is due to some kind of unforeseen burden or circumstances that happens to their adult children, whether it comes through, as we all know, drug abuse, incarceration, not being able to sustain them. There's just multiple problems that happen sometimes to families with their adult children where the responsibility lands on the grandparents. And so, like I said, they're concerned that their grandchildren might go into the foster care system. So we're in an in-between where we try to help grandparents link them up with services, because we understand that family preservation and maintaining family ties are highly valued. So we're trying to help grandparents there. And I have a colleague, her name is Violetta Simpson, and she happens to be online too with us, and she is a great resource. So if you need some support or something like that, don't hesitate to contact us, and we'll get you connected so you can get on our email list and get some online support, and we can help you. So that's another aspect of this program. Okay. Next slide. So you're saying, well, how do I sign up? Well, the simplest way for you to do this is to call our our main intake line there for Lower Alabama, which is the Area Agency on Aging, and also the Ageline. The Ageline will connect you throughout the state, but it's really important that you tell them what county you're calling for, so that way they can link you to the local Area Agency on Aging that's near you. So it's really important. And I'm just going to give you a little plug. You'll learn more about our Aging and Disability Resource Center on our continued Resource State series. So stay tuned. We've got another segment of this coming up in the next couple of days where you'll learn more about the Aging and Disability Resource Center when you're calling in. So just a plug for my colleagues on that too. Okay. All right. Next one. All right. As I talked about earlier, I talked about the types of respite that we offer. At this time, we offer two types of respite. The first type of respite is where I contract with a direct service provider, and I offer about 10 hours a month of services for them to come into the house to give you a little bit of a break where they can do a little bit of light housekeeping, maybe some personal care. And the budget is the same. It's $1,800, so that we can help you to do that. And the direct service provider bills me directly. The second type of respite, which seems to be very popular among caregivers, is a self-directed program where we authorize funding of $1,800 for the year, where you hire a family member, a neighbor, someone that can come in and stay with your loved one, and you negotiate the rates and the time. So this is it's very easy. We try to make it as easy as possible for the enrollment. You have to call to the Area Agency on Aging at the ADRC line and get on my waiting list, because there is a great need out in the community there. So again, this is just a brief overview of how it's done. If you have any questions, you have a way to get in connected with me, or if you can't reach me, you know, you can always reach Dorothy, and Dorothy can connect us together. Okay. All right, next one. Next, please. Okay, so along with the respite, we do provide a lot of education for Alzheimer's disease. And this is the most frequently asked question, and it's the best way to describe the difference between Alzheimer's and dementia. As you look at dementia as an umbrella, and the different types of spokes that are there is the type of different dementias, because you can get dementias in several ways, you know, whether it's the most common is Alzheimer's, but there's also, you can get one from a stroke, from a traumatic brain injury, alcohol abuse. So there's just different types of dementia, and all of their symptoms mirror each other in lots of ways. And sometimes there is some recoveries in some small instances if it's been a stroke, where some people can gain their faculties back. But in most cases, a lot of the harm from dementia is irreversible. And that's what we're trying to educate caregivers to understand, that there's not changing the behaviors, and those challenging behaviors is not the person, but rather the disease process. Okay, next one. So along with that, we're always trying to help our caregivers to make sure that they take care of themselves. It's you know, where do I start? I just found out my parent has dementia. What do I do? Well, you start with the diagnosis to make sure, because in a lot of cases, family notice the behaviors of their loved ones, and you just think, oh, she just forgot. Oh, he just forgot. But then you start to notice a pattern. So if you're kind of have some kind of concerns, it is important for you to start with a diagnosis. So that way you can take stock and see where you're at and what you have to do. And it's really important to talk to someone about their finances, because you have to make long-term care plans. You're going to have to realize if you're going to be eligible for Medicaid to go into a nursing home, if that's an option, or how are we going to pay for care? Yeah, it's important to talk about the pink elephant in the room. Tell your family, don't make any secrets about it, because this is going to be a long journey. So you need to be honest with yourself. You need to be honest with the caregiver and tell them. I know a lot of people, well, we can't tell them. I would think if I had this disease, I would want to know. But I think they already have some kind of suspicion that something's going on, that they're not connecting everything. So it's important for you to take stock of where you're at. So again, reach out to us at the Area Agency on Aging, and we'll put you in connection to where you can have this information to lead to you. Because the one thing I came across was this article. Actually, I found it in an AARP magazine, and it says one of the cruelest aspects of dementia is the stigma that surrounds it. The feeling of shame and hopelessness can cause people to resist getting diagnosed or refuse treatment. And that's very, very hard, because nobody wants to know that that's what they have. But if there is a great deal of help out there, you just have to know where to contact and reach out. Okay, thank you. All right, next slide. I'm just going to give you a tip. A lot of my caregivers, when we had caregiver colleges, and we hope to resume those too, will all get a book, The 36-Hour Day. This is a great book if you are in any stage of caring for your loved one, whether it's dementia or just multiple medical frailties. It's really important to understand that caregivers have very long days, and we don't know what you do all the time at 2 a.m. in the morning, if you're up with your loved one and things of that problems, so this is a good book that that we have, so that you can access and everything. And if you need a copy, give me a call. I might have one, so give me a call. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so this is where we're coming to the end here. Lastly, somewhere along the line in your lifestyle, you're going to be one of these people. You are either going to be a caregiver, you're going to care for someone, or the rules and these are the caregiver roles that you're going to have. Somewhere along the line in your lifespan, these are the roles that we're going to have. And we can't accept fate. And we truly just have to be prepared for the role as a caregiver, whether it's for yourself or someone else. And this is very difficult, but I think sometimes there's silver linings and things, and you can never think that there's a silver lining in COVID epidemic and isolation and everything. But I think we've really taken stock of what all we can do and what we can't do, and realizing that it takes a village to take care of loved ones, especially if you want them to stay at home, or if they go into a nursing home, you still need to have that contact. So I think it's really important that you just kind of take stock of your situation and make sure that you talk to your families to get a plan. Okay, next slide. Again, just briefly to go over the core services that the area agency provides, access to services, home community-based services, caregiver services, nutrition. We're always advocating for our residents' rights and elder rights. So this is the place to call for advocacy. Along with so many other things, we're always trying to work with the state on trying to get more funding for programs and advocating for certain projects. So we'll also have a segment about that coming up in the next couple of weeks. So please stay tuned. Okay, next one. Again, these are just some more of the programs that we have here. And again, there's an Ageline that you can call throughout the state to find out where your local area agency on aging is. And just know, I am one of 12 Alabama Cares Support Caregiver Coordinators. So there's 12 other people doing my job along in the state. So you can call out there and talk to them too. Okay, if you need to do that. Okay, next slide. Any questions?
Let's see, any questions in the chat? You can put them now. Let's see, we are recording this. I'm going to upload this to AARP's YouTube channel probably in the next week or so. So you'll have access to it at that point. Do we have any questions? Della, thank you so much. This has been really informative. The Alabama Cares program is so valuable to so many folks. And Amelia Fletcher says good information. Yes, very good information. Courtney says, thank you, Della. Absolutely, thank you, Della. This is really good information. All right, folks, so we've got another poll for you. So now everybody had heard about the Area Agency on Aging, which was great. So we're going to ask you another one. And so now that you've heard a little bit more about the AAA and Alabama Cares, how likely are you to contact them? If you could answer that, they should be anonymous. So if you want to just give us an idea of if you would contact them, or if you don't need them right now, but it's great information to have. Let's see. If we would like to get the book, the 36-hour day, how should we let you know, Della?
Can you send me an email?
Okay. And let's see, Della, if you don't mind, I'll put your email in the chat.
Right.
And you're Della at Sartsy, right?
Della Sanchez.
Della Sanchez, okay. Sanchez. Oh, let's see here.
And just make a note on your email that you saw this presentation. That way I get lots of emails, so I want to make sure that I know how this one originated, if I can possibly. And that way I could share that with, I could share that also with Dorothy too.
.org. All right, here we go. Let's see. It helps if I launch that poll that I just asked y'all to answer, doesn't it? Here we go. Guys, I want to thank y'all so much for bearing with me today. I'm sorry about our tech issues. I am still learning a whole lot about Zoom. And so we've got this series that is 7 weeks long. And so by week 7, I should be a pro and can do this in my sleep. So I also want to thank Della again for just being amazing and being my first person with this. So I really appreciate that, Della.
You're welcome.
Let's see. And then there is Della's information again. Let's see, we've got 9 out of 15 folks answering. Let's see. And then folks, this is the Ageline. If you are not in the lower Alabama area, you can call Ageline. And if you are calling from a cell phone, you can call the lower number, but you can also still call the Ageline number and tell them what county you're in, and they can put you in touch with your area agency on aging as well. So be sure to save that number. All right, let's see what else we have here. And then here is the information on alabamaageline.gov/AAA-locator. It gives you a cool little map. You can kind of hover over and see where your AAA is in your area to help you out. It's really useful. Also, alabamaageline.gov has a lot of great information on it as well. It gives you some information about Alabama Cares too. So it's really good info. Let's see what else we've got here. And then this is the information for next week's workshop, and it is with Christina Boynton, and it's going to be on the Alabama Disability Resource, Aging and Disability Resource Center. And I am typing in the registration for that right now in chat. So if you are interested in joining us for that, let me make sure I did that right. Okay. And let's see. And then here is the information for all of our upcoming workshops. So we've got different workshops here, and I'll put that link in, and you can register for one or all of them at this site. All right. Okay, so let's see our polling. We have folks most folks are going to be contacting the Area Agency on Aging in the future. So that's awesome. Does anyone have any more questions for us?
This is Pauline. I have a question for Della.
Sure.
I have a friend that's caring for her husband. He's in a wheelchair, and he does very little to assist himself. He went to he's in the rehab center right now, And she's been going to the hospital every day from 8 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And she's completely worn herself out. So how can I seek to get information to her or to help her in some kind of way from a distance? I keep asking, how can I help? And she's got health problems herself. So how can I assist her?
Oh, hello, Pauline. Thank you. That's a very good question. First of
Hello.
all, she obviously is very concerned about her husband's health. And again, she's got this thing that she has to be there, and because if it's not, it's very challenging. And it is challenging these days to go to the hospital and be there because, you know, sometimes there's hospital, the staffing is different and everything else, and you have to be there as a little advocate. But I think it's important for her that she has to kind of take stock of where she's going to go after he comes home, because he's going to need lots of help probably when he comes home, and make sure that she talks to the discharge planner and things of that nature. But I would, you know, give her our number to call so we can talk to her about her situation and have him screened for whatever services he may be eligible and that kind of thing. And also too, you know, you say, how can I help her? Maybe you could volunteer, just go take a shift for her, because that's the whole situation, is that she needs to come home and kind of get some rest and everything and let him be for a little bit so she can feel better, because right now it's her time to take a break, because when he gets home, he's going to need lots of help. But I know it's very hard for her, but rather than her staying the whole day, maybe she could just go, you know, take a morning shift or an afternoon shift, and maybe she can get with her family to take a shift to go there and just be with him, because I'm sure he's scared and doesn't want to be by himself, and it's very alarming for everyone. So it's like it's okay to ask for help, and it's very hard to get help, but those might be some of the steps that she could start off with. But I would encourage her to call the Area Agency on Aging to see about getting on some programs or how we can screen them for services down the road, because she is going to have to make some.
Can you put the numbers back up again, please?
Sure. Absolutely. And Miss Pauline, I know you're in Montgomery. Is she in Montgomery as well, Montgomery County?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I just looked up that number. So let me put, that's for the Central Alabama Aging Consortium. So let me put that number in chat for you, okay?
Okay.
Miss Pauline, the coordinator for that area, her name is it just escaped me. I had it right at the tip of my tongue. Mary Wedgeworth. She's the Alabama Cares coordinator for that Area Agency on Aging. Her name is Mary Wedgeworth.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I just happened to.
Yeah. All right, I just put that in the chat for you, Miss Pauline.
Okay, I see it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. You're a good friend.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
It's very hard. It's very hard to see, you know, what folks are going through. It's hard because as being a former caregiver myself, you know, you get so lost in the weeds of it that, you know, you don't kind of think outside the box. You're just focused on what's next. And so it's great friends like you who can kind of look at the whole picture and kind of see it. And you know, it's almost like feeling like you have to almost do a little intervention of, hey, take some time, take a breather, you know. So that was a great question, Miss Pauline. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Do we have any more questions? Y'all can ask them in chat. If anybody has a kind of a similar question, can unmute. All right. Well, folks, again, I want to thank y'all so much for joining us today. Della, thank you very, very much.
Quite welcome.
Joining us. And I apologize for my tech issues.
All good.
My PowerPoint just decided to crash. So I think for next week, I'm going to try to figure something out a little differently. And I want to also thank our volunteer, Miss Gloria Burks. She's a great volunteer down here in Mobile. And I miss my volunteers. I miss being in person with folks so much. So it's really nice to be able to connect with everybody like this today. So again, folks, thanks so much for joining us. We will hopefully see you next week. We'll be talking about the Aging and Disability Resource Center, which is going to be really informative. Again, that is a statewide service offered. So we'll have Christina Boyington down here in at the Area Agency on Aging with Della. She'll be talking about that next week. So please join us for that. You can register like you registered for this. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great rest of your week and weekend.
Thank you very much. You'll have a great weekend. Okay.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.